Hello, 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 Illumineers, and welcome to the Nerdstrom Household. My name is Nerdstrom, and today I'll be playing against myself. And it is high time that the two Sapphire powerhouses in the Nerdstrom household, number one seed, Ruby Sapphire, and number two seed, Sapphire Steel, can go at it one more time in a post Hiram, post Fortisphere world. This has been quite a bit of time coming. As you guys know, if you follow this channel, you know that Sapphire Steel has been kind of on a redemption tour to kind of redeem itself amidst the ban. Among all the other decks that were using Hiram and Fortisphere, it seems that Sapphire Steel was the one that got shafted the most. But I am on a mission to prove it all wrong and give a chance for Sapphire Steel to redeem itself and claim its place as not just the top deck in the Nerdstrom household, but also the top deck in potentially the meta. This is the one I feel a sense of pride in this particular deck. Mostly because of the fact that the Kiwi Birds variant of Blue Steel has been around for a little while, but it's never been played the way that I designed it, the way that I play it. And I kind of took it as a challenge to make a deck that really is mine. I actually helped build it myself. And I feel a sense of ownership to this deck and really want to see the most that it's capable of, and using this channel to kind of demonstrate it, but also kind of like see for myself the worth of this deck in the set 7 meta, and maybe beyond. Who knows? Maybe it could be an even better option. But yes, I feel very proud of this deck, and no matter what comes of this, any future set championships that I do participate in, or of course the Nerdstrom House Championship, which of course is the most prestigious championship in all the land. I feel very proud of what this deck has so far accomplished, and I can't wait to see how it stacks up against the number one seed right over here, the number one seed Ruby Sapphire deck. Now, it is very much in this one, if you case you guys haven't seen it, it is this iteration of it is very much inspired by the Din Kang Fam DKP Shark deck that's on there. There are a couple of cards that are inside here that are different from what he normally does. I wouldn't necessarily say spicy, but they're also deck cards that I've used in this color combination for a very long time that I'm still very comfortable with, and don't really feel the need or desire to trade them out. So you'll see a couple of old school cards, you'll see a couple of new, you'll still combine with the new stuff that's in there, and of course with what today's meta kind of represents. But there is a reason why this deck is number one for a reason, and it is because it's one of the most played decks in the meta right now. It is one of the most dominant decks in the meta right now, and even amidst the Hiram ban, it feels like this deck has been coming out of this ban very strong and very good. And so this is the reason why I'm really excited to see how this deck is going to stack up against the Blue Steel deck. I of course want to see the number one seed still take its throne, but I do also want to see the Blue Steel deck prove its worth against one of the top meta decks in the game today. And so we are here to find this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start by rolling to see who goes first. The decks are already shuffled, and as Blue Steel is the lower seed, it gets to roll first. and it gets a 6. Okay, and then we'll take a look at Ruby Sapphire. And that could be trouble for Blue Steel. It actually got an 11. Blue Steel is, Ruby Sapphire is going to go second in this matchup. Ruby Sapphire is going to go first in this match. What am I saying? And we'll go ahead and see how this goes. And as Sapphire Steel is the second player, going second, it will draw first. And I will decide what cards are going to be in here. I don't know my coins. Where are my coins at? Let's go ahead and fix that. There you go, get some more coins. There's that. There's that. I was at my locals, my local place where I normally train and prepare for future set championships. And one of the things that I realized is the amount of cards, what am I saying? I need to get more coins for this, but, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm thinking. I'm just excited. I'm just really excited to see what comes of this combination. So, taking on this combination. All right, so set 3. This is not what I was thinking, but one thing that I did do is I did recently go up against an Amethyst Steel deck. What else did I go up against? I want to say I'm against a Jafar deck, which was also Amethyst Steel. So like 2 variations. There's like the one that's like the mid-range classic style, and then also the Jafar. Also went up against I think I also went up against a Jafar. I also got against a few actually. And I managed to break even with all of them, and that was really that was for me as a person who's not one of the best players out there. I'm going to be the first to admit I'm not a top player by any means. I'm just a guy with a camera who has a lot of time on his hands. But in the case of this, playing against, I was able to kind of break even on Swiss. And that to me is an improvement. It's a sharp improvement from when I was in the set championships over the last couple of years, the last couple sets, and things really not only didn't go my way, but they really like took a turn for the worse. And so that's the reason why I'm really confident in Blue Steel. I think if I get the right combination. So far, I feel very confident against all steel decks. And I mean, you see the episodes of me playing against myself, they kind of prove it, how confident I feel about them. But, and if I can get a good set of hands, I can 2-0 Ruby Amethyst. But this is going to be different. I don't expect this to be a clean sweep. As aggro as the deck has been over the past few weeks, I can't expect it to be that way the whole time. And so this is the reason why I am kind of curious to see what comes of this matchup. So, all right, so we got our hands set up and ready to go. To my opponent, aka myself, I say good luck, have fun. And I am going to start by inking Vision and playing Develop a Brain. So look at the top 2 cards of my deck. One into my hand, other on the bottom. I will go ahead and do that one. And I'll pass turn. Draw for turn. I will go ahead and ink Happy, and I'm going to go ahead and play Kit Cloud Kicker, and I'll pass turn. Alright, I'm going to draw for turn. I will ink a brawl. And, whoa, why do I have two? No, hang on. Hang on a second. That should be on the bottom. So, okay, I'm gonna ink a brawl. Sorry about that, viewers. My bad. At least I caught it. All right. Especially in the beginning, it's like this is embarrassing. 2 to sail the Azure at Sea. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a card, and then I am going to make a Tipo, and I will go pass turn. Okay, I'll draw for turn. I'm going to ink Kit, and I'm gonna play Mr. Smee. I'll go ahead and quest for 1. Where's my? There it is. To 1, and I'll pass turn. Alright, I'll draw for turn. I'm going to ink Develop, spend 4 for Grammatala, top and bottom. And then I will pass turn. I'm going to draw for turn. I'm going to ink a Robin Hood and spend 3 to shift Kit Cloud Kicker. It's got shift and ward. Quest for 3. I'll go ahead and quest for 5. 5 to 6, and then the damage counter on Smee. End turn. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. I'm going to ink Tamatoa. I'll go ahead and rush Maui into Kit. Take 2 damage. And then I will... I'll go ahead and swing into Smee as well. And I'll pass turn. Okay, draw turn. I'm going to ink Mickey, and then I will spend 3 for Alice, 1 for Kit, and then I will pass turn. Okay, so then I will draw for turn. Oh, Don't want to do this, but I'm gonna ink a Pirate's Life, and I'm gonna spend 6 for Maui. I'll go and pass turn. Draw turn. I am going to ink Kit, spend 3 for Lawrence, 2 for the mine, and then I will quest for 4, adding this and giving Kit double ward. 4 to 10, and I'll pass turn. I'll draw a turn. Okay, so I'll have Maui take out Kit, take nothing. I'll have Maui take out Alice, take 1. I'll spend 2 for Vision of the Future and gain 1 for that. Action. Ink Tamatoa, spend 2 to play Tipo, and I'm going to go ahead and put that card face down, and I'll pass turn. Okay. I'm going to add 1 for the mine. To 11. I'm going to draw for turn. 3 for Alice. I'll go ahead and spend 2 to put 1 damage on Maui, taking it to 2. And then I will quest for 2 to 13. And I'll pass turn. Turn. And I will spend 1 to play Popsicle. We'll draw a card. I will ink Maui, and then I will play Sisu, which should take out Alice. I'll go ahead and have I'll have Maui take out Lawrence. I should take that out. I'll have Maui put attack the mine, so that should take it out. Right? No, I should. Should I have done it the other way? No, because no, I don't want to keep Maui on the field. It's not like I can do more. I'll quest for 1 to 2, and I will. Oh, I'm going to banish Popsicle, take 2 off, and pass her. Drop turn. 2 for me. And I'll pass her. I'll draw for turn. Okay. So I'm going to have Maui sing Pirate's Life. +2 to 4. -2 to, you know, obviously it's backwards, to 11, and then I will quest for 4 to 8, and I'll pass it. And I'll draw a turn. I'll spend 1 for Popsicle, draw a card. I'll banish Popsicle for Belle, and I'll pass turn. Let's go take that off. I'll draw a turn. I'm going to spend 2 to sail the Azurite Sea, draw a card. I'll pay 1 for Popsicle. Draw a card. I'll spend 5 for Maui. And then I'll go ahead and quest for 5 to 13. And I'll pass turn. Draw turn. Okay. 2 for Calhoun. me and Sisu. It's me and Belle take out Sisu. And then I will pass turn. Okay, I'll just drop a turn. Spin one for Fortisphere. I'll go ahead and quest for 1 to 14. Pass turn. Drop turn. 3 for Alice. And I'll pass turn. Drop turn. Alright, I am going to have Tipo and Maui sing a Pirate's Life. So +2 to 16. Oh, actually no, it's actually 3, 17. And minus 2 to 9. You know what a 9 looks like. And then I will pass turn. Turn. 1 for Mickey, quest for 4 to 13. Yeah, Ruby Sapphire still got it. Oh man, that was brutal. I even got like the opening thing, but I just had everything in hand ready to go, and I even like made some key changes to kind of have important threats on the board. But yeah, and then once I drew into that next Pirate's Life, I was like, yeah, no, there's no way. So yeah. All right, so let's try game 2. See if Sapphire still can come back. Let me just go ahead and I keep forgetting that like whenever I do I play Pirate's Life, I have to do both sides, and I don't want to move from my seat when I do that. It's okay. By the way, I was sitting on a be prepared this entire time, so that definitely was like, okay, yeah, if all else fails, I still have that. Yeah, but basically I had all the high mark stuff like on the flop ready to go. Did not have a busted hand in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Let's do this. Alright, I'm gonna select 4. Okay, so Sapphire Steel is going to go first in this round. The one thing I know is that this Sapphire Steel deck can get pretty aggro. The only problem is it is not aggro enough. So let's see what could come of it. Nope. Let's do that instead. All right, I'm gonna send back 2. Okay. All right. Sapphire Steel is going to start this next match. Hopefully to avoid a 2-game sweep. We'll see how this goes. All right. Okay, to start, I am going to ink a Robin Hood, and I will spend 1 for a popsicle. I will draw a card, and I will banish said popsicle to play Bell, and I will pass turn. Alright, draw turn. I am going to ink a Brawl, and I will pass turn. That was crazy. Alright, let's try this. Draw for turn. I'm going to ink Aurora, and I will spend 1 and 1 for Kit and Robin Hood. Quest for 1 to 1, and I'll pass turn. I'll drop turn, and I will ink Tamatoa. I'll play Tipo. I'm going to go ahead and put that one into the inkwell face down and exerted, and I will pass turn. Alright, I'll draw turn. I'm going to ink Bell. I'm going to spend 3 for Alice. I'll go ahead and quest for 3 to 4. Actually, no, I'm not going to. -1 to 3. And I will pass turn. Okay, I'll draw turn. Link Tipo. I'll go ahead and rush Goofy into Robin Hood. And I'll take 2. I will also gain 2, Lord 2. And I'll just do 1 more. The 3. I'll pass turn. Drop turn. I'm gonna ink the mine. 2 and 2. I'll play Calhoun and Mr. Smee. I will go ahead and quest for 4 to 7, and I'll give Belle Ward. This gives 1 lore, and there's that, and I'll pass turn. I'll draw for turn. I'll go ahead and Grammatala, and I'll spend 5 for Maui. I'll go ahead and rush that into Alice. Take 1. I'll go ahead and challenge Belle. So Belle takes 2, and then I also gain 2 lore to 5. And I'll go ahead and quest for 1 to 6. And I will pass turn. Turn. Oh, boo. Boo, 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 boo. Great. Damn. I'm gonna go ahead and 8 Cogsworth. I'll have Calhoun take out Goofy. Takes 1. That's me 2 lore. And then I will quest for 3 to 12. And I'll pass turn. Alright, let's draw a turn. Going to Ink Vision. I'll spend 6 for Half Shark. I'll take out Calhoun. Go to 4. 4 damage. That 1. And then yeah, I will quest for 1 to 7. And I will pass turn. Okay, drop turn. 2 for the mine. I'll spend 2 to send Kit to the mine. Take out Maui. Oh, shoot! It should have had 1. My bad. I will quest for 3 to 5, and then I'll pass turn. Alright, let's see what happens, man. I'll drop a turn. Spend 2 to sail the Azure at Sea. Draw a card. Gain 1 more. 8. I'll spend 2, sail the Azure at Sea. Gain a lore. 9. Draw a card. I will ink Tamatoa, and I will ink Coil, and then I will. How close are you? 15. I gotta do something now. I'll challenge me. Take that out. Put 3 on me. I'll send Azure Sea back to my hand. 2 for Azure. See, draw a card. Gain 1 to 10. So those 2 are for the Azurite Sea. I'm gonna go ahead and ink Maui. Quest for 1. To 11. No pass turn. I'll draw a turn. 3 for Lawrence. I'll go ahead and plus 2 to 17. Because I'm gonna also quest this, and then I will also. I'm actually gonna hold off for that. I'll pass turn. I'm gonna try not to do what I do. Draw turn. 1 to develop your brain. 1 to 12. Top 2. I will have Maui sing Pirate's Life. Minus. Oh my gosh. 2. Just do it from my point of view. And then I will still not enough, is it? 15. I just need at least 1. I'll go ahead and challenge with Kit. And then take nothing, and then plus 1 actually. What am I doing? 12, 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15. I think that's the math. I can math. So 15 plus 1 is 16. Draw a turn. 1 pop. Draw a turn. 1 for Kit. 2 to send Kit to the mine. Put 1 damage on Maui, I guess. And then I'll quest for 3 to 19. And I will pass turn. I'll draw off turn. That could not have come at a better time. I'm going to go ahead and challenge the mine. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend 7, just for 1, be prepared. This puts me at 16. And then that takes all of that out. And then I will pass turn. Drop turn. 2 for Alice. And then I will draw for turn. Wait, no. Wait, where's my be prepared? I use this. What am I doing? Take a brawl. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what's coming. Boom. All right. He who laughs first laughs last. Okay, I'll draw off turn. 2 for coming. Pass turn. All right, let's see if let's see. Is this Heart of the Cards? Not yet. 1, develop a brain. Bam. Bam. Gone. All right. Drop turn. Lawrence. Fast turn. Okay, here we go. Now it's a last chance situation. Drop turn. Bro. Lucky time. All right. Well, see, there you go. That's how Sapphire Steel does it. It's just sheer dumb luck. Like, survive all the resources, and then you eventually kind of find that opening, and then you just get the win. So great. So Sapphire Steel has 1 victory against Ruby Sapphire. That might have been done through controversial means because they kind of missed a couple of booking opportunities. But other than that, it was good. Let's go ahead and see if this final match determines it all. And just remember that it is currently 1-1. Sapphire Steel is the number 2 seed in the Nerdstrom household and is facing as the number 1 seed in the Nerdstrom household. As you guys know, seeds do matter, and in this event, if Sapphire Steel does beat Ruby Sapphire, it will take the place as the number 1 deck in the Nerdstrom household as far as ranking goes. If it loses, it stays at second. All ranks stay where they're at if they're facing higher ranks. But if they face lower ranks, then they have to drop down a space in accordance. And everything underneath the winner also moves down. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, if you haven't been familiar with how it works in the Nerdstrom household, when if there's a new number 1 seed, it does not necessarily mean that it gets to be housed in the nice in the White House. You know, the white deck box that Ruby Sapphire currently occupies. That only ever changes hands in the when the Nerdstrom House Championship happens. So obviously the defending champ gets to keep his spot if he wins it all. But whoever wins does get to get a spot in the White House, aka that deck box that I just showed you a second ago. So yeah, but we are currently on match number 3. And this is going to be for all the marbles, and we'll see. I don't know, for some reason I was kind of rooting for Ruby Sapphire for a brief moment on there, just kind of close it off. But then it just didn't happen, and now Sapphire Steel is back in the game. And we'll see how this goes. Okay, so Ruby Sapphire is going to go first in this situation, and we'll see how that plays out. Okay, I'm going to send back 4. All right, let's go ahead and see what comes of this. All right. No. I'm gonna select 6. Oh my gosh, Ruby Sapphire, you've been doing so well. Some of the hands are kind of screwing over. Hello, second watcher. Good to see you. Thank you for joining my channel. As you guys, in case you guys are unaware, I'm currently in a match between number 1 seed Ruby Sapphire versus number 2 Sapphire Steel Kiwi Birds variants. Very ward heavy variant. It is 1-1, and we're going to determine to see who is going to be the victor in this matchup to determine who the number 1 seed in the Nerdstrom household truly is. All right, so I have stripped down all the cards except for 1 in this hand as far as my opening hand goes. And to start, I am going to ink a Tamatoa, and I'm going to pass turn. Ugh. Okay. All right, I'll draw for turn. And I am going to ink I'm Still Here and spend 1 for Popsicle to draw a card. I'm going to banish said Popsicle and play Bell, and I will pass turn. Draw a turn. I'm going to ink a Brawl and play Sail the Azurite Sea to draw a card and put another additional card from my hand into my inkwell face down, to which I will do a Sail, and I will pass turn. Okay. Alright, I will draw for turn. I am going to ink a Lawrence, and I will play Kit and Robin Hood. And I will pass turn. Actually, no, sorry. I am going to, what am I doing? I'm going to question roll. Plus 1, it's a 1. I'll pass turn. Draw for turn. I'm going to ink Develop Your Brain, and I will play How Far I'll Go. Look at the top 2. I'll go ahead and put that in there. And I will pass turn. Draw for turn. I am going to ink Strength and spend 3 to shift Robin Hood. And I will quest for 3 to 4. And I will pass turn. Alright, I will draw for turn. Going to ink Tipo, and I'm going to spend 6 for Maui. And I will pass turn. Okay, we'll draw a turn. I will. Ooh, this is tough. Yeah. Fine. I'm gonna ink Aurora. And I'm going to spend 2 for Smee, 1 for Mickey. I'll have Belle sing into Maui. And then I will quest for 3 to 7. And we'll wait the inevitable. Pass turn. I just made it just kind of guilt-free in this instance. Draw turn. But I also want to force the issue. I'm going to ink Tipo. And 7. Be prepared. There they all go. think it was a necessary loss. I'm going to pass turn. Okay, drop turn. One for Robin Hood. I'll pass turn. Okay, drop turn. I will go ahead and spend 7 for dime. And actually, I'm going to 8 total. Now pass turn. Drop turn. 3 for bell. Pass turn. Okay. I will drop turn. I'm going to go ahead and ink Grimtala, but I'm going to spend 7 for another dime. And I will pass turn. I'll drop turn. 1 for Kit, quest for 1 to 8. Pass turn. Alright, I'll drop turn. Spend 2 to play Vision. We're top 5. Alright, I'm gonna play Pirate's Life. So that 9 goes to minus, oh my gosh, 2 to 7, plus 2 to 2. And I'll pass turn. Drop turn. 2 for Spain. Quest for 2 to 9. And I will pass turn. I'll drop a turn. Make a brawl. Pass turn. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Drop a turn. You've got to be kidding me. Damn. Ink Robin Hood. Quest for 4. 4 to 13. Take 1 damage for Smee. Pass turn. Turn. Man. 8 Vitalsphere. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where are my characters? Be prepared. I've been sitting on that thing for a while. Just did not want to cross that threat. I just wanted to make sure I didn't cross that threshold. That's what I was waiting. Shoot. All right, pass turn. Watch this. Now that the wipe is happening, all of a sudden I'm going to have all the cards I need. Drop a turn. Pass turn. Oh, man. Drop a turn. Oh my gosh. 2, Vision of the Future. 2, 4, 5. Let's do that one. 6, Maui. Boom. Exert. Add 1, 2, 3. Pass turn. Drop turn. Oh my gosh. 1 for Popsicle. Draw a card. 3 for Storm. I'll take 2 damage on to Maui. Draw a card. Pass turn. Alright, then I will drop a turn. Alright, 8, Sisu, nothing's going to do anything to that, but what I will do is I will add 3 for dime to 6, and then I'll quest for 1 to 7, and then I'll pass turn. Alright, I'll draw a turn. Cappy. Cogsworth. Pass turn. Up turn. Tama. 4, 11, 4 to 15. Pass turn. Drop turn. 3. Boom. 3. I don't know. 2 on Maui. Give it to 4. Draw a card. Ink Robin Hood. 2. 15. Call it. Oh my gosh. That was... I don't know how to feel about that match. There's a lot of thoughts going into that one. For one thing, neither deck played the way they should have, in my opinion. If this happened in any other situation, Ruby Sapphire would have been brutalized, especially against a super aggro deck that was able to kind of build its resources quickly. But on the other hand, this deck also didn't get Kit. Where's Big Kit anyway? I was like, where the heck were all my characters at? Oh, there it is. I didn't have any of that. And that was it was just interesting that it just didn't work out. I mean, I'm glad that Sapphire still did get a win against Ruby Sapphire. When it did require a lot of luck. It required a lot of survival, but it was doable. And the thing that I'm kind of receiving on this end when it comes to this particular deck is that the deck can withstand certain things that Ruby Sapphire throws at it as far as like board wipes go, but you just have to be really smart about them. And yeah, overall, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty solid. Still a pretty solid deck. I still feel pretty confident in this one. It just needs to pop off a bit better. But and it's not one of those like ones where like it rarely pops up, but when it does, it's like really special, kind of like how the Jafar wheel in its traditional form kind of does. But yeah, overall, I kind of feel that this deck was fine. The match was kind of unhinged and kind of crazy itself. I did do a practice round yesterday before I did this one, and it wasn't as unhinged, and it also resulted in the same result. Ruby Sapphire did win, but Sapphire still did get a win off of Ruby Sapphire. And that's why I kind of felt I think I needed to demonstrate whether or not this deck can do well for you guys. And I think going into set championships, it gives me a lot of hope that set champs will result in this deck being successful, about as successful as it can be. And like, I mean, when you have to come from my point of view, I'm not a pro player by any means. I'm just some dude with a camera. But my hope is that I can at least secure a promo card, because if I can get a promo card, I think, like, it's proof that, like, at least on that day in that particular building, in that time of the year, you were one of the best players in Lorcana. So that's what I'm hoping for. Definitely on the other side, I did like how Ruby Sapphire works. I'm glad that this is still a good deck. Like, I still feel that this is an incredibly dominant deck. My stubborn pride makes me want to have this deck be successful, but I do feel very comfortable playing this deck at the same time too. And it could be a situation where come set championships, I just go, you know what? Screw it. I'm tired of losing. Let's put Ruby Sapphire on there and just try our best on there. So yeah, that is kind of what I feel are my thoughts. If you want to see the final count, here's the final count. First game, Ruby Sapphire won. What was it? I don't even know what my rating says. It was like 17-17, and then Ruby Sapphire had enough cards to win the whole thing. This one, it was 19, stayed at 19 for the most part, and stayed at 15, and I had enough resources to kind of withstand it. And then 17, 14, 17, looks like it was 11, but I had enough, 15 actually, excuse me, but I did have enough to overcome that obstacle too. And it's not like Sapphire Steel like didn't get any lore. It actually did. It was actually in the fight quite well. But overall, Ruby Sapphire proved why it is the #1 deck in the Nerdstrom household. With Sapphire Steel proving that it has what it takes to potentially top the meta, not just here, but in stores everywhere else. So that's pretty much everything I got over on my end. Until next time, my name is Nerdstrom, reminding you that just because I play against myself doesn't mean you should, doesn't mean you have to. You can always get together some friends, old and new, and let's get nerdy. Wait, there we go. Gotta get used to that angle.